We're not recording? I'm going to ask you about the nominees tonight, being a strong woman, pulling yourself together, advice to other women, like you've said 1,000 times, and also about what went into your ensemble tonight, maybe about like your color choices, la la la, stuff like that.
Perfect.
I'm not a fan. What? I don't know who you are. I'm not obsessed. What? Or this evening.
I'm fantastic, thank you. It's Oscars. You got to be fantastic, right?
Are you rooting for any people and movies in particular?
Yes. As usual, I have a very strong opinion about everything, so why not this, right? No, I'm a
Dallas
huge
Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club fan. I think Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey both deserve huge accolades for their work on that. And then I'm a longtime Julia Roberts fan, and her teaming up with Meryl Streep, it's perfection.
Speaking of perfection, will you tell us all about your outfit and what went into choosing it?
Thank you. I am wearing Seguri Couture, and when I saw it, I just thought it was the perfect combination of sweet and a little bit sophisticated at the same time, and I'm kind of loving the open bolero jacket look that I've been seeing a lot lately, so just thought I'd go for it. I was a little hesitant not to go long since it's Oscars, but let's face it, I'm not nominated, so I think I'm going to be okay.
And only YSLs.
Beautiful shoes. People are crawling around on the red carpet. This is amazing. Okay.
I've seen a lot of things on the red carpet, never seen many on their hands and knees. That's a first.
Tell us about writing your book. Were there days where there were any blocks? What did you do to keep things fresh, stay on point? Can you give advice to other writers?
You know, when we wrote, he actually helped me a lot with my book. He was my
Editor.
business advisor and editor. We were just friends back then, but he helped a lot. And I think just talking about the stories, you know, we would do a lot of recording, and it really helped me to recall little details because I would tell him the stories before I would transcribe them into the book. And I think having someone there to feed off of that can ask you questions to get to more detail, because sometimes the details become more interesting than even the overall story. It's some of the little things that happen along the way in my story that were so unique.
Can you give us some advice to other women who are pulling themselves together, who want to be strong on a daily basis? You're always so focused and so on point. How do we be focused like you are?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I just try to do the best I can every day. I have good days and bad like everyone else, and just try to be thankful that my life is in such a different place now. I'm focused on my little girl and my upcoming marriage, and I'm just incredibly blessed, and having all of my history behind me, I think it just gives me a lot of perspective onto what's important.
Would you say Julia wins tonight? Meryl, can you give us
I want to see Jared Leto, Matthew McConaughey, Meryl, Julia. Those would be my 4 faves.
What was her name? Clara Squibb in Nebraska was pretty incredible.
She was really good too. Yeah.
Okay, we heard it from you. We're going to hold you to it. It was great to see you. Bye-bye.
About your experience in working with Dancing with the Stars.
I was in the White House executive office building, and I got a call on my phone, and I was in the company of some pretty senior people, and I shouldn't have taken the phone call, but they said, would you like to be on Dancing with the Stars? and I'd not even heard of it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I said, why not? Why not? The scenery was very pleasant, but invigorating, challenging, daunting. And after about 2 or 3 numbers, I was sort of glad to leave the rest of it up to the more talented people. Oh man, I got 2 tuxedos, no pockets in the rear, but.
Have you kept up your dance? Has this inspired you to keep up your dancing skills?
No, I walk fast in airports for my exercise. But I'm liable to slip on the dance floor. You know, that could be hazardous.
Well, there have been so many mishaps on there with people who are experts. So, how about your experience in training to be an astronaut? Now, what kind of physical activities did you train for there?
Well, I came down from my first flight, and I rather seriously said to people, gee, my grandmother could have done that. But sometimes things not so good happen. And then you got to put up with some quick actions and reactions and know what it is. So it's not for little kiddies or older folk. I happen to be getting to be one of those older folk. So I think about it and I plan, and what should the other guys do? What should the nation doing? What should China, Russia? I have to sort of predict, because I grew up feeling so important to be in the United States of America, and I saw the greatest generation win World War II. My father was an aviation pioneer. That got me into flying, combat flying in Korea. This is the greatest nation. I'm afraid we are beginning to lose some of the respect in the world. And I, being a military person, where I went to school, the military academy, 21 years, and a veteran, I don't think the American people appreciate what the military does for them. The sacrifices. We're not drafting people. These are volunteers. And generally the American people feel, gee, it's only the stupid people who would get involved in a war. Someone has to do it, and we have to be smart about how we do it, and we have to be respected in the world. The slogan, peace through strength, is what gets things done in this world that is trying to impose will among other people. And it's been that way, and it'll continue. Other empires have gone up and come down. Okay? We have gone up. I'm a little worried that we're tinkering around, and I'd hate to see this great country on the way down while I'm still here. We are wasting tremendous amounts of resources doing things for greed in corporations making money without that much of a regard for how useful. We have politicians making very bad decisions just so that people can continue to be working on old things. They called it heritage components that cost too much. We can't use the rockets, but the people keep working in their jobs, and the senator keeps getting reelected.
I think you could be a big influence on young people and to inspire them to go into the military and to keep our resources and make some good decisions there. Would you see yourself as an inspiration?
There are a lot of motivating people with inspiring words. What I have done, what I am doing, and what I will continue to do could could be a greater inspiration than trying to tell other people what they should be doing. That's what we have: teachers, parents, and people that guide through them what their profession is. My value is to continue being innovative about how to better bring about U.S. leadership in the world.
Who do you?
Question for you. Did you see the movie Gravity and the representation of astronauts there? What did you think of that?
Well, there were only two, one male and one female. The female was the star of the show, but she was just an investigator with an experiment. But she ended up doing so many unexpected things that's a tribute to the inventiveness of humans, the flexibility of the human mind, and the sensationalism of Hollywood to make things look very dangerous, very hazardous. Probably acceptable by the laws of physics. There wasn't anything really violating. We weren't beaming people up or down or going warp speed. It was realistic by the laws of physics. But we would never expect to get into those difficulties, one on top of another. But Hollywood has a free rein to want to make that very thrilling, and they did, and I enjoyed it. It will make people realize that there are things that can go wrong in space. If you're fortunate enough in preparing, you can hope that they won't go that wrong.
Well, it sounds like you made some very sound decisions and were very fast on being calm under great danger in these challenges that you had with being an astronaut. And those traits could be...
If you can't do something about it, worry is the worst thing you can do, because that clouds your mind, and then you don't think clearly. Well, just kind of ignore what's going on and note that something's wrong, and then try and fix it.
Well, I like your calmness. This is a wonderful quality with all the...
Some people call it fat, dumb, and happy.
Well, being happy, and it sounds like you're a happy person too, and you have so much to offer the world. I could see you writing a book.
Well, I've written a lot of books, but somebody does the writing. You have talents and you have things that you've given up, and I sorely miss the writing myself, and taking ideas and putting them down. I can explain them to people. They don't always understand, so I ask them if you would just kind of write down what I said and send me a copy, and I can tell you where you didn't quite understand or I didn't communicate right.
You are a great communicator, and maybe someone could be writing this down as you're communicating.
It takes a long time to communicate
complicated ideas, and maybe someone could make them in a simple form and
I'm looking for help.
Yeah,
unfortunately, the government did not pay us very much for what we did, but people don't realize that.
Oh,
I received only military pay. The promotion policy put in effect for astronauts depended on timing. And for some people, the timing was very good, and they would receive one promotion and then another. Like me, it wasn't so good, and I received a promotion, whereas if I hadn't, I'd have gotten a promotion normally with a date of rank 6 months earlier. So I lost seniority because of the wonderful policy that we had. You think when we went around the world to see kings and queens, we flew on government airplane, government meals, government quarters, but we did have to buy clothes to look good. You think the government paid for any of that? No. You think I get free travel in airplanes? Hell no. You won't even take the 24 Americans that reached the moon. And it's been 40, 45 years now, and recognize that we should be called lunar ambassadors because we were there. And the American people need to know that we've put a title on those, and the foreign people need to know because they probably forget.
Well, I could see you as an ambassador around the world explaining all these wonderful values. And you're so articulate about these
I like
values.
the term global space statesman. Statesman. Global statesman for space.
Oh, I think this is just very appropriate for you to.
I'm putting together a program now. You know, in January, the president gives the State of the Union, and then governors give the state of the state. So I'm organizing a program for the state of space for the United States. Some things that should be considered for the second term of this president. And a good time to do that is on the 45th anniversary this coming July. And there's some significant things, and it should involve some senators and some congressmen. Those are the people at the high level that I'm trying to influence. It'd be lovely to motivate kindergarten and elementary schools. A few of them have my name on there, and that's okay. I write children's books, but I just can't visit all the schools.
I know you can't. So I see you as this space ambassador statesman, and I am totally in awe of the astronauts. I also am involved with NASA in some way, so I really thank you so much for your time and that you did this Dancing with the Stars and that you're in such excellent shape. Thank you.
With anyone who's nominated